Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Zach, and today we're doing another deck profile on this channel. Today we're doing a Labrynth deck profile. I'm really excited to show this, guys, because now we have finally got the last support from Photon Hypernova. So, without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So, to start off, we're using 3 copies of Lady Labrynth of the Silver Castle. Lady Labrynth is your boss monster of this deck because she has the effect that when you activate a Labrynth effect, or a normal trap card, you can special summon this monster from your hand in defense position. She is also untargeted by your opponent's card effects if you control a set card, which is a great effect because then you can actually protect this monster, which is your boss monster of this deck. And when you play a normal trap card, you can chain her effect to set another normal trap with a different name from your deck to your field, which is a great effect overall, guys, and I really enjoy playing this as a free up. Next, we're using 1 copy of Lovely Labrynth of the Silver Castle. Lovely was your boss monster back in the days, but after we got the Lady, then she is just a good one-up to have as well, because she actually protects your trap cards. Because she has the effect that your opponent cannot respond to your activations of your normal traps when you have this monster on your field. And she also has the effect that you can target one normal trap in your graveyard and set it to your field, but it will be banished during the next end phase if it's not has been activated. And she also has the effect that if a monster leaves the field by a normal trap effect, you can choose one monster on the field or a random card in your opponent's hands and then destroy it, which is a great effect at all. That is just a great effect, guys. Next, we're using 3 copies of Ariana the Labrynth Servant. Ariana is a great free up, guys, but I would not say that you need 3 copies of this card. She is a good extender in this deck because she has the effect that when she's normal summoned, you can search out any of your Labrynth cards, which is a great effect. And she also has the effect that if a monster leaves the field by one of your normal trap effects, you can either special summon a fiend monster from your hand or set a spell or trap card from your hand, which is a great effect, guys, because that means that we can actually continue using our resources with this deck. The last monster that we're using is 2 copies of Lord of Heavenly Prison. Lord of Heavenly Prison is great too, guys, because he has the effect that during your main phase you can reveal this card and then he actually protects your set cards as long as he is revealed. He will be revealed until your opponent's end phase, but if you activate a set spell trap, you can actually special summon this monster to the field, and he also has the effect that you can set one spell trap card directly from your deck, but it will be banished during the next end phase. But until then, we can actually just activate it, which is a great effect overall, guys. That was everything for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, guys, we're using 1 copy of Labrynth. This is just the best one of, that is just my opinion, actually, because it has the effect that when you activate Welcome Labrynth, or when you activate a Welcome Labrynth normal trap, you can actually destroy a monster your opponent controls. And it also has the effect when you play a normal trap card, you can choose one of your fiend monsters in your graveyard and then special summon back to your field, which is a great effect, guys. For the last spells, we're using 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. Extravagance is great free up, guys, because it has the effect that you can banish 3, 2, 6, or 3 or 6 cards from your extra deck face down, and then for each third card that you banished, you can draw 1 card. However, I would say this is just a great card, and it will be a bait to the most players because they think that they need to ash this effect. But I will also say, if you play this card, then they will for sure know that you are playing a trap deck, because all trap players are starting out with this if they top deck it in their hand. But that was everything for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. And oh boy, we do play a lot of traps in this deck. So for the trap, guys, we're using 3 copies of our newest addition to this deck, and that is 3 copies of Big Welcome Labrynth. Big Welcome Labrynth is a great free up, guys, because it has the effect that you can special summon one of your Labyrinth monsters from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and then bounce one of your monsters back to your hand. And it also has the effect that when this card is in the graveyard, you can actually bounce one monster on your field back to your hand. But if you control a level 8 or higher fiend monster, you can actually bounce one of your opponent's cards back, which is a great effect, guys, and that makes this a very valuable resource in this build. We're then playing 3 copies of Welcome Labrynth. Welcome Labrynth was the first good trap card to this deck, and it still is, because it has the effect that when you activate this card, you can special summon one Labyrinth monster directly from your deck. And for the rest of this turn, you are locked into Fiends from your extra deck, but that doesn't matter because we do not use our extra deck that much. And it also has the effect that when a monster leaves the field because of one of your normal traps, you can set this card back to your field, which is a great effect because that means that we can keep using our resources because this effect is not a once per turn. We then play 3 copies of a compulsory evocation device. Device is a great free up, guys, because it can just bounce any monster on the field back to the hand. Because that also means that when you activate this and you choose one of your own monsters, so let's say you choose your Lady Labrynth, then you can also use the effect of Welcome Labrynth, because it's just a monster that needs to be bounced back to the hand for Welcome to resolve. We then use 3 copies of Dogmatica Punishment. Punishment is a great free up, guys, because it has the effect that you can send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard to destroy one monster your opponent controls with less or equal to the same monster's attack. So let's say that you are playing against Branded, you would choose Mirror Jade, then you can send something with 3000 or higher attack to the graveyard to pop that monster, which is a great effect, guys, in general. We then play 1 copy of Trap Trick. Trap Trick is a great one-up, guys, because it has the effect that you can banish one of your traps from your deck and then set another copy from your deck to your field. However, this needs to be a normal trap, but that is totally fine because we do play a lot of normal traps. We then play 3 copies of Evenly Matched. Evenly Matched is a great free up, guys, in this deck because it has the effect that at the end of the battle phase, if your opponent controls more cards than you do, you just force your opponents to banish cards face down from the field until they control the same amount of cards. A great combo here, guys, is to, if you top deck this and you are going second, then you can just say battle phase, and then you can say main phase 2 and activate Evenly Matched. A lot of players do this combo because you don't need to wait for your opponent to attack, because then he will just one turn kill you if you know that you are playing Evenly Matched. We're then playing 3 copies of Ghost and Match. Ghost and Match is great free up, guys, because it has the effect that each player can only control one attribute at the time when this card is face up on the field, which is a great effect that this card actually locks out a very large amount of decks, like, for example, Kashtira. Kashtira is that type of deck that has multiple attributes, but if you activate this and you're playing against Kashtira, then they can only use, let's say that you summon out Unicorn and you activate this, then they can only control Wind attribute. And it's totally fine for our deck because we are only playing Dark in this deck. We're then playing 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier. Dimensional Barrier is a great free up, guys, because this, also against Kashtira, is a very good card because it has the effect that you can call any type of X-Deck monster except for Link, and then for the rest of this turn, all monsters with that type, let's say that you play against Kashtira and you call XYZ, then you can actually just lock them out of their combos, and if they already control an XYZ monster, then that monster's effects are negated for the rest of this turn, which is a great effect overall, guys. We're then using 2 copies of Terrors of the Overroot. Terrors of the Overroot is great joke, guys, because it has the effect that you can choose one card your opponent controlled and one card in the graveyard, and then you can actually just swap controls of those cards. So let's say that you play against Kashtira again, then you can just take their copy of Kashtira Theosis in their graveyard and maybe their copy of, I don't know, a Rise Heart, and then swap controls of those two. Because then you just set Theosis to the field. I would say Theosis might not be the best play to do, but this was just an example. And also, for the last cards, also a very good combo against Kashtira players, which is Skill Drain. 3 copies of that one, because it doesn't really affect our cards that much, which is fine because this is just a trap deck. Because Skill Drain has the effect that you can pay 1000 life points, and as long as this card is on the field, neither player can activate their effect monster's effects, which is a great effect at all, guys. But that was everything for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're using 2 copies of Elder Entity Enters. Enters is a great tool, guys, because this is just a dogmatic punishment target, because she has the effect that when she is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, or when she is sent to the graveyard in general, you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls, which is a great effect, guys. Another good dogmatic punishment target is 1 copy of Fossil Warrior Skull Knight. Skull Knight is a great one of, guys, because it has the effect that when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it, which is a great effect. It's just like Enters. And for the last fusion monster in this extra deck, we're using 1 copy of 5-Headed Dragon. This is just a big beatstick target for dogmatic punishment, because we're not using dragons in this deck. But I will say there's not a lot of cards that can beat 5-Headed Dragon as a dogmatic punishment target, because it has 5,000 attack points. But yeah, let's continue. Next, we're using 2 copies of Meteorologic Aggregator. Sorry. This is a great 2-up, guys, and it is also a very great dogmatic punishment target, because it has the effect that when this card is sent to graveyard, you can target 1 monster on the field and negate the effects on that monster until the end of the turn, which is a great effect, guys. Next, we're going in for the Link line. We're using 1 Nightmare Phoenix to get rid of our opponent's spell traps. Then we're using 1 Cerberus to pop monsters. And then 1 Unicorn to bounce cards, which is a great trio, guys. And now for the rest of the Link line, we're using 1 Muckraker from the Underworld. This is a great one of, guys, in this build, because it has the effect that you can discard 1 card to choose 1 of your fiend monsters in your graveyard and special summon to your field, which is just a great effect in general, guys. Then we're using 1 Boral Sword Dragon. Boral Sword is a great one of as well, because it is just a big beat stick as well, and it has a great effect because it has the effect that you can choose 1 monster on the field, change that target to defense position, or change its battle position from attack to defense, and then this monster gains an additional attack during the battle phase, which is a great effect, because then we have a big beat stick with 3k that we just can swing into. Then we are using 1 copy of Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Soldier of Chaos is a great one of as well, guys, because he has the fact that when he destroys a monster by battle, he either gains 1500 attack, makes a second attack during this turn, or banish 1 card on the field, which is a great effect. And he also has the effect that he cannot be destroyed by battle and cannot be targeted by. It cannot be destroyed by card effects, and it cannot be targeted by card effects if you use a level 7 or higher monster to summon him out. Then we're using 1 copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa is a great one of as well, because that is just negates. So let's say that if we are using maybe 1 Nightmare Phoenix and 2 other monsters that are Link 2 and 1. Let us say that we use I don't know, maybe Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn to that, because then we can actually just make a Palooza. I was about to screw that up very well. Next, we are using one copy of Unchained Abomination. Unchained Abomination is just a big beatstick as well, because he has the effect that he also can pop cards, which is great effect, guys. This deck is just a no to a lot of decks because it can burn your opponent for life points, and you can also destroy the cards. I don't know why I said burn. It can't burn at all, but you know what I meant, hopefully. And for the last card, guys, we're using one access code Toggle. Access code is just a beat stick as well in this build. And with all those link targets, we can actually just continue. If let's say that we go into summoning a Palooza, well, then we are actually ending on 6,300 attack points for access code, which is a huge big beat stick. And I just I love it. I love when you can combine a lot of link monsters. But yeah, guys, that was everything for this deck. I'm really not using a side deck for this because I don't think it's necessary. But if you think about a side deck that you can use for a Labrynth deck, please let me know down in comments. But without further ado, guys, that was everything for my Labrynth deck profile for March 2023. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, we'll see each other next time I upload a video. Peace.